Howdy, everybody. I'm lordvolkhark. If you don't know who I am, it's nice to meet you. Make sure sound. And today we're going to talk about a few projects that are going to be going on as such, and a few things that I bought for myself, and so on and so forth. For one thing, I own a DJI Mavic, and the internet just went to hell. Hold on. I have to fix one thing. Normal. Yeah, leave that there. Lowest. 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 But what was that name that was on there? MS feed sync. No, that just got network kicked out of its ass. Alright, so we might be putting out well now. There we go. Okay, there we go. We're good. Alright, let's try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Howdy, everybody. I'm lordvolkhark. If you don't know me, it's nice to meet you. Right now, the green screen's a little bit acting up. Even if I put it on brighter. Oh, never mind. Yeah, full brightness. That fixed that shit. Woo! Small little fixes. Today, we're going to talk about a few things that I have bought recently that are aimed toward projects that's going on with me in life and generalization. Now, I haven't bought this recently. But this is an amazing bag, and I'm going to give it a little bit of review, and I'm going to show some mods that I've done to it as it goes along. I'm using a comic book box, by the way, that is a long box. Oh, I didn't realize I was on there. Oh, it was. There we go. Nice the mess moved. Alright, there we go, back in this place. Long box, and this is actually a bag that I use for my drone, which is the DJI Mavic Pro. This is from Case Labs, as you can see this lovely embroidery here. This is not the most amazing review, but this is going to be the basic review of what we're going to go through and everything else like that. If there's ever a question for a more in-depth review, I'd love to do it, and we can discuss and everything else like that. So, I bought this for my DJI Mavic Pro because, dude, I don't even think I have my case that originally came with it anymore. Like, I might have chunked that. I feel I did. I'm looking around for it, and I don't see it, so there's a chance that I've just gotten rid of it, which is not a big surprise. It was a horrible case. It's very small. You could barely put any equipment in it, and yes, the DJI Mavic was originally one of those compressed drones and everything else like that. But guys, there was a lot more if you were going to just do more than fly it a little bit, which is what the actual Spark is for. More, it's just going to throw it up in the air and let's get going, messing around. That's a lot smaller. There's a reason that's cheaper, because you feel a little bit more comfortable breaking it and so on and so forth. But this guy, which is the DJI Mavic, is a 4K drone. Filming, it's got so many features. There's no reason to limit it to so much that you can carry with you and so on and so forth. But being able to carry more gives you a lot more acumen of what you can do, what you can pull off with this drone. It is wonderful. Now, with that said today, I'm going to show you why I bought this case and some stuff that I've added onto it as I go along, and give you an explanation why I've done that. I'm also going to show you some accessories that can fit in the case and everything else like that, besides the drone. Now, the biggest part for me is automatically where do you house the drone, because it's a very expensive drone, and to have it in anything that is a little bit like 50-50, you get it broken, which is the original case, was a lot up in the air. I'm not going to lie, I ended up putting it inside backpacks to carry it, because I was afraid that if the case got smacked, I was going to break the drone, because it's possible. But I ended up getting this, and I love it because, let me get this good grip on here. This case comes with a hard case for your actual drone. So It also comes with a foam lining here, as you can see, and also a section right up here. It's kind of hidden away that you can stick your tablets in, and this is also embedded in the foam, cut purposely into the foam. You can, matter of fact, remove the foam if you want to. I haven't really. I just kind of moved around. I added also these dry silicone throwaway beads, and the reason I do that is because if you keep them around certain devices, you will keep your items fresh and, you know, without water and the spacing and everything else like that. Doesn't mildew, basically. That you're supposed to be flying around drones around water, really, unless you've waterproofed your drones. So that was mostly the ones that you built yourself. And, you know, I haven't taken that leap yet. I'm going to. But here is it's titled Survivor Dry Box. It's even got a little compass on top of here. And you can see it's from Case Club, so it's actually one built for them. This is their address if you want to contact them and everything else like that. They're wonderful. Their bag is wonderful. But they also, go full out for this guy. So automatically just foam up on top, which you could just call it, egg crate foam. It's wonderful for protecting things and stuff like that. Swap it around. I can pull it out, put it back in, very easy to do. Don't really do that much. And then you got the drone fitting, of course, in its compressed state in there. And it's got a foam cutout. As you can see, the foam cutout is pretty awesome. I've kind of worn little spacing into it from where the props sit against here. But the foam is wonderful. It doesn't move. Once you get this in, which is a lot easier than you think it is, once it's inside, down inside, so I've got it down inside, close the top and not jam that. Close these off. And by the way, it is, I believe, waterproof because there's a O-ring sealing around it. This is a little black line that you're seeing is actually a rubber O-ring. Seal these off. Now, you can't do that with the DJI bag because you'd be afraid you're breaking it, you're going to ruin it. And I mean, this is a case of itself. It's got little clip space if you needed to travel with it. If you turn this into something to travel in another bag, this has got a lot of viability. It's got lock clip spaces, which are these little holes right up here up at the top. This is a killer bag, and you don't see many reviews for this bag, because I'm not going to lie, it's not cheap. I actually tried contacting them to see if I could get a sample version, or maybe they've dropped the price. Well, I said I didn't have enough following. That's fine. I still love their product. And the reason why I love their product is because the quality right off the bat is for where the storage goes for the drone. And it adds back to it. So it's keeping the dry box, slot it in. Even better is up front here. As you can see, there's the storage space down here in the bottom. There's rubberized to, I guess, put more props or something in. Something you would want to house here. I've kind of gotten where I keep these bags here in case if something gets wet and I want to seal it away. There's a lot of room indented here. There's the tablet space, which I have been known to put my tablet in here. Matter of fact, I've been known to put my phone in this when I'm flying and leaving the network on, because in the state of Texas, heat is a serious thing. And when you're running your cell phone with some serious network speed, you get some serious heat. Now, the only con is this wonderful seal that's around the edge of these zippers, which is this lining. Does tend to get stuck on these edges when I'm trying to zip up. But I love these zippers because automatically these two connect, and then you can put a lock on it. Bam! You've been able to lock away the most expensive device into its own bag. Now that's the starting point with that bag. That, again, this is a beginning point. This is why I, even saw and was drawn to this. There wasn't much good detail from the company, by the way. I would make a suggestion, Case Lab, hey, include alongside of the storage inside of here that you have a place for the tablet. Now, that would bring so much more attention to me. personally, but that's could be a personal thing. Now, automatically, I've got other accessories in here. If you've ever tried to fly your drone uh, using a USB cable from the small and everything else, when you're using a tablet, I use a tablet because it's got larger imagery. I've got a USB-C cable here. This one's not wound because I have several cables in here, and I do that because you never know what happens when you're out there flying and everything else. Preparedness is a lot better than not. And this is upper portion here that is storage. I've got wipes to clean screens, the tablet screens, and also the screen on the drone. I also bought this from Pelican Case. It's a Pelican case for my SD cards. That fits in a little slot on the side of this lovely bag, and this has got a huge top upper storage here. So that's just the beginning of what's in here. Got the cables out. You've got a little clip, I guess. I've got another one of the cleaners. Looks like Q-tips, but they'll be great against certain things. There's a clip here for like keys, I guess. You could do that. Jeez. There's one little clip thing here. There's a USB to USB, micro USB SD card reader. I've got stored in here, so that's one of those little flaps here. You got another one on top of that one. This is actually to my tablet. I threw this in here just because of the spacing. I have an older Samsung tablet, 10-inch, and if you use this and then a USB, you can do USB reading, so automatically I can start, editing and everything else like that. If I were to bring that, I'm not bringing that because I've got a new Asus tablet that I use now. The coveted USB power bank. Yeah, there we go. USB power bank plug that you take one of the normal batteries of your DJI Mavic, and bam, you have a out power from the battery to something like maybe your actual. Where is it? I'm trying to find the remote. To the remote. And that way you can charge it. So we're going to put that over here. That's a lot of things in the end. There's another flap that goes all the way down. If I had to say it's full hand length, so it's going from here to here for me, and that's pretty good length on that one. Pun not intended. This is where I keep. I just dropped something. No. My landing gear. And the reason I have landing gear for the DJI Mavic is because if you ever landed in tall grass, or you're trying to fly in a spot or find a spot to land and find a spot to take off, you have to think about it's really close to the ground. Hopefully the new improvements on if they do another Mavic would be to automatically bring up the landing gear. I know it's harder, body and everything else like that, but I'm not gonna lie. If they made a bigger version of the Mavic, better camera, better battery load. I mean, I couldn't imagine. It's a great product, still be able to fold away and get it in another place. But I mean, just increasing its size could actually gain it. So that's my props. There's 2 back props here from a 1 edition, and then there's another set of props that I bought that's got these springs in them. The reason I did that is because I liked these on my arms and not across where the arms of the drone instead of the undercarriage, which is what a lot of people do for back props. I mean, back landing gear is attach it to the bottom, and the problem is a lot of the time your sensor will detect it and it will try to go up. And I did have a problem where I got stuck up at a height limit that I set and magically got stuck up there, and that sucked. But these props also helped with taking the absorption. I wish these props were designed to go onto the back arms of the Mavic and take the pressure hit too. It's been wonderful. They bounce. I've had the Mavic bounce when it's landing, and it's really great. So that's all. That's just of that top piece there, guys. That's how much is in there. Just from this top piece. And that's not even the main pocket. And that's not just the only pocket. There are from the main storage place where you keep your drone to this front piece pocket, which also has mole connectors, which is, you know, tactical mole attachment thing. So if you want to attach a light, you want to attach something else, it'd be really easy to do. It looks like it's in good case design and everything else like that. We're going to talk about that in a minute too. You got this front packet here, which is not lockable, unfortunately. But you know, if you don't put the expensive things in there, you're pretty much groovy on that end. Then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 5 in completion of just the outer pockets here. And then you got the big main pocket on the top. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So let's go to this side one. Now this side one came with a cable manager, which is, take this out. Oh, there we go. Is this little doodad, and you just kind of wind cables around it, wind cables into it. You know, that's what I've done. Now, this pocket is good size. It's got Velcro on the front, so you can just put the cable manager back inside. But as you can see, I've got USB micro, USB micro, USB micro, well, no, USB-C and USB-C different lengths and everything else, because I'm using a Asus ZenPad 3S10 for my actual viewer and my, you know, everything for my drone. And that means that I, well, totally need this connector. I've got a USB-C adapter on this micro USB right here. This just cost me like $10 for 3. I haven't used it yet. I'd like to know if it works. I've been very tempted just to charge it and see how it runs. But USB-C is the way for the future, just because of programming makes it understand, you know, hard drives and external hard drives, and that works. That makes it where if I took this long, and that's why I've got a USB-C to USB, I can dump off from my phone or from the tablet, you know, pictures, video, and everything else like that. This is wonderful. And it's very little modification that I've done. This is just a Velcro strip holding onto the cable, this is just kind of a rubber thing that I can do inserts, which I've got another one sitting out over here in case you need to add stuff and everything else like that. It's not an advertisement. This is not advertised either, by the way. So out of the actual 5 that you see pockets, there's actually 7 of these guys. Let's move on to this other side. So this is the side pocket here. And this is where I store kind of the prop pieces I don't use. This is for... Are these my front leg ones? No, yeah, these are the front leg ones for the original model subset. This is the original back clip piece that had this bracer that, again, the sensor was detecting, so I never use it, but I keep it in case I need to swap around and something needs to go down and everything else like that. With that said, guys, this is on this pocket side. I don't know how well you can see this. Let's move up. Let's move up. And let's move up. These are individual slots right here for your props. You can see my fingers going in here. And they've got 1, 2, 3, 6 of these going across right here. Now, I've been able to fit several props, and I'll show you on the other side in a minute in this. Again, it's got the mole, you know, strategy hold place on here. My only thing is, I'd like this to have been more affirmed or solid, but it will hold your props very well, and I haven't smashed down on this and broken any of them. That said, I do have a lot of props stored in this bag, and the reason being because it was very easy to store them. Anybody that thinks props, you know, you'll never need that many, has never had a crash. Now, the other thing I store in here, which is this is the other back side. So this is actually the 7th holding spot, not counting the top, that, as you can see, it's the legendary car charger for DJI. I got that alongside of my drone when I order everything. Here's another USB cable. There's another USB cable. I need to throw that into, let's do this right here, because we're here. I'm going to clean up my mess a little bit. By the way, this is my habit for USB cables. Storing them finger length, and then wrapping them in themselves a little bit across. And again, until you feel that they're holding themselves together. And I also do the tip I like that they're just sitting there really well organized. They don't wind up into each other because they're wound around themselves, and they're easy to unwind because you just unloop that set once you've gotten in the habit of it. Anyway, so here's the legendary other side. Another little small pocket, large pocket further into the casing, and then you've got this huge, let's say, about from that length there, my hand and everything curled down into their storage area. I would say batteries, but I don't do it as often just because I don't like to expose the batteries as much. But you can easily say, take this out, take this, the battery, slide one here, slide one here, and then you can just arrange. So I've got 5 batteries in my completion. I bet you I can fit all 5. That's 5 batteries. There's this. See if we can zip this closed. Now I keep my batteries stored with a fireproof bag. No, you can't can't close all of these unless you do that. Slide this in there. No, that's on top. No, it's not gonna let me slide in there. But that's all 5 batteries one side. 5 batteries one side. Can you imagine 5 batteries on the other side? I don't even use these side pockets really that much unless I, do put a battery into my storage. We're going to take these all out, and I'm going to put this back. And I put them into fireproof boxes. This was just a LipoGuard Direct. Down here in the bottom. I also have my Lipo cover edges, so when I'm traveling, in case sand, you don't want them in there. Not many of them, even though I've got 5, because usually it's in this bag, and or because I can fit 3 to 4 in there. This bag, which is also from, this one is from, this is Lipo safe bags. Maker fire, the warning and everything else like that. The only thing I would complain about these, by the way, is don't have them facing each other, outwards facing each other, because they touch, the batteries will get touched and turn on and off, and then they discharge. That has happened many a time on a trip, and then I'm down to 3 batteries. It sucks, but otherwise, if you put them on the inside, they don't touch each other, they don't turn on into each other. So, let's turn this around. We're going to get to this other side. It's very similar across. You got this upper pocket here. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. This upper pocket gets used a lot more because I have my 3D printed, and I didn't 3D print it. I bought this tablet mount. And the reason I bought a tablet mount is because I knew off the bat if I got the tablet up and away, I could put focus into the readouts and everything else like that. Not just the camera and everything else, camera and imagery. I could get out a lot more information as it goes along. And it's really easy to build, as you can see, in just seconds. That's why it stays so unattached in my bag. I'm very comfortable with leaving it in the bag in pieces. And just like that, and then you just clip your remote around it. I can stand it up. I don't do that often because then it'd be more in my face. And it's housing a 10-inch tablet most of the time. This is pretty firm to hold. It definitely holds a 10-inch tablet crossways, which is like this, and holds the tablet over the top. And a case, too. So like a rubberized case, it's had no problem with holding it. And it's pretty good. It's just kept in this little pocket because it's easy to fit in pieces, and then I can easily get it in, out, put it together, and get to work. So next thing is the other prop pocket. Now this will show you how many props I've got in here. I've also got Shoot. I'm gonna ruin this box before I can even get to use it for comic books. Hold on. Here you go. All right, so I've also got, there we go, chest harness for support. So if I was going to put in a lot of flying time, recharge, do again, recharge, do again, this will be where I don't have to carry the remote all the time with some strength. And it does work because of the individual holes on this that I can grip it and everything else like that. This was originally for the DJI Inspire, works for the DJI Mavic with that. And I don't use it as often because sometimes I just get short flights and go. All right, so we got 1 prop, 2 prop, 3 prop, 4 prop, 5 prop, 6 props, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. That's right, 17 props, 1 pocket. With individual storage sections, so they're slided off, they're not moving around, they are in there, and they're in there good, and they do not, get broken or anything else. It has not been a big hit, but I am worried. I'd like to see, because the front of this pocket side is this solid fabric. I wish they would do it, which is probably just cardboard and fabric in between it. I wish they would do it for that side. And then we got this. I don't think I keep anything in this. Oh, I do. All right, so on the side, glass cleaner, another little micro dry box in case it's raining, and for any of you camera nerds, you know what this is, a way to blow off dust and everything else from your lovely camera lens. And that's it. I mean, this is some major storage. It's wonderful. I love it. Put this box back. And this is from Case Labs. It's not a bad price mark for anything like this. It is an amazing price mark for anything like this. I would love to say that even though it's listing of $100, that maybe it was a little bit overblown. It's not. There's so much potential that you could do, and travel and potential for footage and everything else like that, that I would sell you on the reason to get this. And that's not even the full. I've given you everything that's in this bag yet, but it's got so much use. It's insane. I mean, I feel comfortable just putting this shit right back, knowing it's going to be in there where it needs to be. It's got good storage areas. It's got into a habit knowing where the stuff is. The first time I ever did a beach shot, I was scared because I thought I lost something. I did not. Little micro. I'm just going to put it with the USB thing up here. But this bag, I know everything's in there because I'm going through the steps, putting this stuff back, closing it up, and bam. Now, the ultimate thing that you don't realize is there's this little top pouch that I was talking about. And in this top pouch, so much crap can fit in here. This is where the batteries usually go in the fireproof bag. This little, and it's a deep cavity. Deep cavity. I mean, the length up to my shoulder, right about there, full length and everything else like that. We've got just this box used for reference. This is other gimbal covers for protection and everything else like that. There's a traveling gimbal cover in there. There's the smooth one. And then we've got this contraption, which is actually built to turn the DJI Mavic into a steady camera. And that's what we got in there. That's just the basics. I mean, that stores it like nothing, but it layers the batteries, layers the remote in here. Everything fits on top of this. This is wonderful devising, guys. With that said, you'd think that would be it. Again, this is another USB, another close-up and everything else. You'd think that would be it. They've done a wonderful bag. It's, you think maybe a little bit of water resistance just in case it suddenly rains. No. Let's kick some ass. You saw that dry box. Let's show you what they really did to kick some ass. Okay, so guys, this is a rain shield that you can put to the whole bag in. So instantly, I was out there on the trail. The weather change, went for the burst. That's the Texan mentality. Just wait a few minutes and we'll go back to normal and everything else. But look at that. Rain shield. This is a self-contained rain shield that's on the top of the bag. Case Labs, you are insanely well talented at what you're doing, especially for the DJI Mavic. And I understand that the expense of this bag is a little bit much for the low end, kind of users, which is kind of me. But the reason I did that was because I ended up buying it myself, is because I couldn't stop looking at it and going, that is an amazing bag. That is what I need. That is what I need for storage for this. I mean, it was over $1,000 worth of investment for the device itself, and then you're going to tell me that you just want this little dinky fucking, foam padded piece of shit bag that, DJI decided to make? Screw that. I mean, right off the bat, sorry. It's even better. Say you're walking around, you've got something stored on top, sleep bag or something like that. Now you've clipped it in the top, a bedroll with your DJI Mavic. Now you clip yourself in this sideways. You still got these clips here for storage for, something to hang off, a water bottle or something like that. You've got this lovely hidden, and I didn't even know this until one day that this was here. These straps, which is one here and then one here. So you can carry a tripod, you carry something. There's so much use out of this. And then you got this just solid back that it's got these soft pads. It's just wonderful feel. And then the bottom, it's got this clearly flat lined. So you can just set this and, setting on my leg. So it's a little bit unbalanced, but because of it's my leg. But once you get it flat, all right, let me use the table. Boom. So you got a platform to work from. Last time when I was actually at a beach, I had to finagle around and try to not drop everything in the sand. But with this, because it's all flat and perfect, I could work going down and up and get anything out and get everything in. Bam. It is its own little table spot. It is wonderful. Case Club, I just want to give a shout out to you, your wonderful product. With that review finished, or run through finished, I'm going to give you guys some ideas of what I'm doing with it now. Now, automatically, for somebody like me, I like to tinker with shit. I want to improve. So this is just kind of from Buzz Justice was pilot safety drone. It's kind of a walkthrough. It's kind of a joke to make people feel comfortable, or kind of like promote what's in here just as a joke and, messing around. Makes people comfortable. It makes me happy. Now, I ended up getting, if you know me, I have a water jug. Usually constantly. Even when I'm streaming, sometimes I have water. Move this back over here. I have water supplies all the time, guys. And this is from Kaylina Catine. This is one I've had for a while. I put some dents in it from drops. Not side dents, but bottom dents from a few drops of seriousness. And so now it's not completely even and flat. This is a non-insulated iFly. Non-insulated, bag. I mean, non-insulated cup. But I ended up getting this in my birthday, which is from, I think it's Arctic. Wonderful, solid black, insulated 64 ounce and 64 ounce. Wide top instead of the slim one. The reason I did the slim one on this one is because I wasn't going to put ice in there because it would just get water all around the edge of it. This one is insulated and sweat resistant, so it doesn't sweat itself. But what I did was from Blue Ridge. I got a 64-ounce mole, which is that tactical stuff I was talking about on the side of the bag, mole mount holder. So with this one, because of the wider body, fits in the inside. You've got this little pull tab that's down inside of it, and then you can just tighten everything up. And then you pretty much don't want to turn this one upside down, but I mean, it sits in there. And once it sits in there on the side, it's not going to go anywhere really. Mind you, if I switch out to this one, which is non-insulated, goes in there, and then you do this, that one's not going anywhere. You know, it's actually got some density, so if I dropped it again, I don't think it would dent. This is the canteen keeper right here. I will be keeping both containers. I love them. They're very much a happiness on my side. One's from birthday, one's for myself, that I bought for myself. And I can just easily find a little spot, because it's got these clips on here that you can just slide through and find your mole clip. That's one. And by the way, if you go to Case Club's website, which I should provide a link to in the bottom of this video so you guys can go to there, on their website, they have this bag attached to so much stuff. It's phenomenal. And it took me a little while to actually decide to buy something more to attach to it other than a hard clip that I used last con from my backpack to keep it in place. Look at that. Water. It's not really over here. I can get into it. Easy to carry, one side. I still got the solid clip. Still got this other solid clip. I've got open space and everything else. Now, you know, that's for traveling out and about. I might get another one of these and put it on my other backpack for normal events. That way I can just have two. And everything else. And you really shouldn't hurt yourself to do that. The other thing I got for myself, which is from a company, I don't even think, yeah, Remove. They don't have a name. I think this is just a guy sewing this stuff. Have you ever seen these clips put onto military base stuff and all kinds of things? Emergency kits and stuff like that. For planes, you find a sign, which I've seen a lot of them around here because there's a few plane builders close by. Remove before you fly. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to clip them on to individual things and go along. So I'm going to get one here, one in the orange container, and one onto the prop guard. So that way I always take off the prop guard. And then I'm going to put one, and I'm going to show you what that is. Let me show you what the one I'm going to put on the remote. And I'm going to show you also what I use and everything else for the remote for safety terms and why. So this is the DJI Mavic remote. Put this down over here. Oh goodness gracious. It's not as heavy. Once you actually got it on, you're really comfortable with wearing that. I'm not gonna lie. It's just one-handing it with like 4 fingers in a horrible position to lift. Anyway, so this DJI Mavic remote. I've already dented it, which is right here. There's a little crack on the plastic. I don't know how I pulled that off. I then also marked it with some stickers from the company UAV stickers. I had to look at the damn tag to see it. And as you can see, there's my takeoff and still camera reference, video reference where that is, and then just the referencing for what the individual lights mean. And I'm not happy that was upside down, but it's good. Keep parallel. Keep parallel. Says it to myself so I can, do it. Whenever you fly, you really want to keep those parallel. You do not want to put them, out and expand. It's very amusing that you don't want to do that. Says something. So we're going to close this up. And the remote is still wonderful. Once you close this up, it's very small. You can fit it in a pocket. But the problem is these are very, possible to break and or to cause them to be ruined. And because of that, some 3D printer guys on Amazon, things like that, you don't have to buy my specific one, but I really liked mine because of its design. So I got it for myself. Doesn't mean that I want you to buy it, this specific one, but I would say do it, which is basically a prop guard and a facing guard all in one with a Velcro wrap around it. Now, with that said, I'm going to take this and put one of the clips onto this prop guard. Yeah, there we go. And that way it's on the prop guard. It's just kind of amusement. It's going to be on the orange box. These are just kind of making these mine. And you should do that. Pardon. Excuse me. One of these is going to go on where the SD cards are and everything else like that. It's just kind of an amusement factor. And it's also like, be aware what you need to do before you take off in a flight and everything else like that. So that's real, the amusing side. And that's me with my bag over a long period of time. That's me with my DJI Mavic over a long period of time. I am so happy about that. I'm so happy about the bag. It's from Case Club. Guys, if you ever wanted a killer case for your DJI Mavic and a few other products that they sell that are amazing, buy it. The modder in me has me adding stuff to it, but I'm not going to lie. It's a wonderful product. I would recommend it to people. And I'm not going to lie. I love it. It is the assistant of me wanting to get out more to, do more filming. So with that, guys, thank you very much. Thank you for following. If you watch this review, do be aware that some of the pauses are because of low network speed. I am doing this live so that I can cut it later for YouTube because I am really a live streamer for Twitch. I use YouTube as an archive section, but guys, do follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Thank you very much. This is Lord Volkhark saying, fly safe, fly smart. We're all in this hobby together. And thank you, Case Club, for making an amazing storage bag and travel bag for your DJI Mavic. All right, that's done. Wow, that took like a whole 45 minutes. Details and such. How's everybody? I don't think I've got anybody on right now. Let's try going on Facebook real quick.